Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Calling All Devs, our weekly Q&A series where I take questions from you, the star citizen backer, and pose them directly to our developers, usually over Skype. This week we are starting off with Todd Papy, our design director out of Foundry 42 Frankfurt, but he's actually in the UK, so we're catching him. I think he's on his laptop. How you doing, man?
Hi, buddy. How's it going?
Good. What are you doing in the UK?
Syncing with all of the developers here and just trying to work out plans of what we're doing through 3.3, SitCon, how we're looking at that, and then also 3.4.
All right, cool. Well, I will let you get back to that. I got a quick question for you. It comes up a lot, interestingly enough. It says, can we get a single player and single team mode in Star Marine? Basically, they want no enemies, no AIs, nobody but them and their friends to just run around, practice the level, explore the level, and they even say admire the beauty. Basically, like free flight for Arena Commander, but for Star Marine.
It's something that we can talk about, but again, it'll just come down to priorities for the team and if we want to allocate a resource in order to do this. But it's definitely worth something, worth talking about in a meeting. And I've got Rob Johnson sitting right behind me, so talking about game rules and see how difficult it is and how much time we would need to spend on it. So I'll bring it up.
All right. So I just want to reiterate, for people who write the summaries and stuff like that, that's not confirmation that we're going to do it. That is confirmation we're going to talk about it.
Correct.
So, all right, cool, man. That's all I needed. I will let you get back to work.
All right, later.
All right, thanks, man. All right, thanks so much, Todd. Moving on to Foundry 42 DE and our own Dan Trepan, who's got a question about the crime stat system that I think you're going to want to. Well, we'll see what happens. Dan, how you doing, man?
Hey, Jared. How's it going? All good here.
Yeah, it's another day. I got a question for you. I'm sorry, we're in a bit of a rush here today. I've actually got another call coming in, so we're going to try to do this here. This question is about the crime stat system. Basically, this person wants to know, what are the long-term plans for updating and replacing the current GTA-style 5-star crime stat system that we have? I know we've talked about this a couple different times in the past. We always seem to have plans for the future, but we haven't exactly implemented them yet. Where are we with our thoughts on the crime stat system?
So the crime stats system was always something that we temporarily put in there because we went to PU and we didn't have something to do the job. It was a quick implementation. The goal is to have, it's like a three system part. It's the criminality system, it's the local law system, and then it's the reputation system. So what happens? First of all, local law will tell you in this area that's owned, let's say, by this organization, you're not allowed to do these things. And for each of them, there is a certain penalty. Generally, that penalty will consist in reputation loss. As in, I find you in UE space, I shoot you in the head, UE goes like, we start hating you now. Or depending on how much they care about that part. They might not care about killing people, but UE does. But let's say you're in another organization space, they're a bit vague about this whole killing people thing. So you might shoot someone, they'll drop you a little bit, but not much. But if you kill like 10 people, they'll drop you, and suddenly you become an enemy of that faction. And then you are a slight enemy, let's put it this way. Your reputation drops to a certain level where if they see you, they will shoot you, but they will not hunt you down.
All right.
If you keep dropping and dropping and dropping, they will send ships after you, they will try to find you, they will actively try to take you out of their space because you're an enemy to them. Now, because you're an enemy to them doesn't mean you're an enemy to someone else. So it might be that because they hate you because your reputation is down doesn't mean you're a criminal somewhere else. Right. So you might just go out of their space into someone else's space and go like, yeah, I'm scot-free here, no problem, no one's going to shoot me until I do something bad. Now, the criminality system, how it will turn up, it will be something that is short-term, as in, I done something stupid now, as in, I'm going through customs with a packet of drugs. I'm not instantly going to become an enemy of the state, but for that moment, let's say 30 minutes to 1 hour, I will be taken down, they will confiscate my drugs. If I try to run, they will shoot me and kill me. But after they shoot me and kill me, if I go through there again, unless my reputation has dropped under that threshold, I'm still a normal, regular guy. So criminality is like a short-term, instant reaction type of thing. I've done something stupid. This is what they do to me, but then they forget about it. Reputation is something that they do not forget. You mess with them, you'll have to work your ass off to get back into their good graces. So it's kind of short-term is criminality, long-term is reputation, and the localized law is what unifies them and tells you what's good, what's bad to do in this area.
All right.
Yeah.
And as far as this, I know we love the when questions. We have a roadmap. We have our RSI public roadmap. An update to the crime stat or the reputation system is not currently on the roadmap. So as for the people who are asking the when question, not soon.
Not soon.
Let's just go ahead and say that.
It's in the works, but not soon.
Also, I want to say that you were talking about how the different areas had different criminalities, and how you're going to break a law in one area and not going to have the criminal rating in the other one. And all I kept thinking it was about SCMODs, and a state, county, municipal offenders database. And it's a Blues Brothers reference. And I was going to make the joke and interrupt you, and I didn't. And I want credit for not interrupting you with the Blues Brothers joke.
Okay.
All right, man. I'll see you in Germany in just a couple of weeks.
See you. Bye-bye.
Right, bye. All right, thanks so much, Dan. Now moving back to our own studio here in Los Angeles, and longtime bug smasher, Marc Aben. Got a question for you. How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Picked up fast.
Oh yeah, bug smashing away.
Do you still bug smash even though we don't bug smash?
Oh yeah, I bug smash all day, every day. Sometimes I record myself just for fun. The good old days.
All right. I got a question for you. It's from the backers. This is submitted by the backers. It's voted on by the backers. I think I already know the answer, but we're gonna try it anyway. Ships spawning in ships. Now, right now, since we've added persistence, players can load one ship into another ship, like a dragonfly, into the back of their freelancer, and then log out. And when they spawn their freelancer, it comes with the dragonfly, of course. This question posits: when can ever, please, maybe someday, can we just say, I want this ship to spawn and I want this ship to spawn inside it, and if it can do two, I want this ship to spawn inside it, and so they don't have to do a symphony of vehicle movements to get the configuration that they want?
Yes, and that's it. No.
All right.
Long answer, short answer, yes. We want to have the ability to know that when you spawn a ship into there, it stays into there, or all that fun. How, when, and where, it's up in the air. It's not on the current roadmap, but we have experimented in the past doing different things, but it is something we are doing. Just don't know when.
Gotcha. Now, of course, remember, we bring this up a lot on the show, the RSI public roadmap, available at robertspaceindustrials.com/roadmap. When a feature like this is on the horizon, you can expect to find out about it probably there first. So you can set your expectations accordingly. That's not to say that priorities don't shift, that it won't get added to something sooner, but it is to say that is where you will find out if that event has occurred. And we all anxiously await the feature just as much as you do. All right, Marc, I'll let you get back to what is it that you do again?
Well, Bob, I don't exactly do anything here.
I set you up to give a bug smashers, and you weren't. Just go back to work.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, man.
See ya.
Okay, thanks so much. And now, finally, last but certainly not least, we don't get to have him on the show nearly enough. Shawn Tracy, Director of Technical Content here in Los Angeles. Hey, Shawn.
Hi.
Technical Director of Content, Director of Technical Content.
Technical Director of Content.
Content Technical Director. I don't know.
No, because there's multiple, here's the thing, there's multiple technical directors at Cloud Imperium Games. There's also programming directors. So I'm the technical director as far as content goes, so art and animation and these kind of things. So all the tech that goes into content, I am dealing with. But then there's two other more senior tech directors that deal with some of the engineering side, and one that deals with planets almost exclusively.
All right, well, thanks for the call, man. I'll let you go.
Okay, very good. Bye.
No. All right, I got a question. Try to get you back. I know you're heading out to a meeting here. Submitted by the backers, voted on by the backers, with multiple physics grids tech playing such a crucial role in the game, like for related to parasite docking, transforming ships, or in this case they used the whole scene. I'm not sure that's entirely correct. Proper ship disabling and destruction, docking collars, all that stuff. Why is this piece of tech put on the back burner, like Shawn Tracy said in a recent RTV? Why?
Yeah. Well, no, and it's still pretty accurate. And back burner is probably the wrong way to say it. I mean, it's waiting. We did a bunch of the work. Okay, so first things first, I'm speaking on behalf of the physics guys, right? Speaking on behalf of most of the physics guys that are working out of Frankfurt, and just happen to know a little bit more what they are doing. And as crucial as those features seem for the game, they're not there yet. And there's other things that have to come right ahead of it. Like a good example is the whole C is not about to go into 3.3, so we don't actually need the multiple physics grid tech to be online for 3.3. That's going to have to come when the whole C at least comes online. The other thing is some of the other features that were described there, like docking and these kind of things aren't slated for that, and thus the reason not to work on the feature. So sometimes what happens is we don't want guys to work on core functionality that doesn't have any gameplay implementation planned for it in that same release or in a release thereon after. Now, I'm not saying that none of this stuff is coming up, but some of it is massively predicated on other tasks, and one of the big ones that the community already really knows about is the object container streaming. The multi-physics grid stuff will depend so heavily on that, and actually just about everything in the game depends so heavily on that really going to town on some sort of multiple physics grid support doesn't make any sense before we do the object container streaming work, or maybe even like the sign distance field work. So basically, saying that it's on the back burner is accurate, but it shouldn't be considered like we don't care about it or that it's not a critical or crucial part of the game. It's just how crucial and how much more crucial is it than something like object container streaming. And I think everyone would agree, just based on what we've communicated out, is that object container streaming is pretty darn important for us. So basically everything gives way to that as much as possible. So hopefully that kind of gives you the answer to that. It doesn't mean we're not doing it, but it does mean that we will do it when the features are going to be coming in the game. We've already done all the groundwork for it, so it's gone pretty much as far as it can go without an actual game implementation to really, let's say, solidify the feature.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answers the question.
It's important to remember that when you prioritize things, something has to go second, something has to go third, something has to go fourth. It doesn't mean the fourth thing is not important. It doesn't mean the 10th thing isn't super important. It's just that when you have to put them in an order. Right. And when you have 500 developers around the world, it sounds like a lot of people, and it is a lot of people, but it's still a finite number of resources. So you have to assign them, logically and in a progressive nature, for dependencies and stuff like that. So it's not. Unfortunately, we can't work on everything at once. It's just,
and sometimes it feels even with that prioritization, sometimes it still feels like we're working on everything at once too, because yes, we are trying to make progress across so many different facets of the game. But what Jared says is exactly right there. And what's really hard about that is there's sequencing that has to happen within that. Like, I mean, to me, dates are the dates are going to be run by the producers. Everybody's got the dates and the schedule sort of worked out there. That's cool. What I think about it in terms, and most of the other tech directors, I'm pretty sure, do this as well as the leads and everybody, is dependencies. Yes. What depends on what? What has to come before this? 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 Because you can't just work on all 5 of those at the same time if you are literally depending on some work from a previous thing. So that comes into play when you are prioritizing. So you'll prioritize something lower because you know something that it depends on won't yet be done, so you will prioritize that a little bit further down. So anyways, not to beat this to death, we talk about this all the time internally. We
talk about all this. We talk about this externally quite a bit too.
Yeah, well, it's good. It's a hard thing to come to grips to, and it changes, which makes it even harder. So
yes, sir. All right, man, I'll let you get back to work. Thanks so much.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
All right, bye.
Speak soon. Bye.
Well, that about does it for this week's show. Special thanks to Todd Papy and Dan Truffin and Marc Abent and Shawn Tracy for taking their time to be here on the show with us this week. Remember, you can submit your questions for consideration each and every week up in the thread up on Spectrum. And don't forget to vote. That's the two-pronged plan. You submit your questions, you vote on your questions. I chase developers around and try to find the answers for you. So for Calling All Devs, I'm Content Manager for Global Video Production, Jared Huckabee. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Thanks for watching. For the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42, you can subscribe to our channel, or you can check out some of the other shows, and you can also head to our website at www.robertsspaceindustries.com. Thank you very much for watching.